Yeah, well, look at your booth or care that you're here from. But that's okay. Give it a few. The Global Village is basically a collection of not-for-profit activist organizations doing important work in their communities. So we call it the Global Village because Neil has brought these groups in to each show, human rights, environmental issues, species biodiversity, climate change, sustainable energy. All these things are issues that affect everyone. They're global issues, and so that's why we call it the Global Village. One of the things we find is that Neil's fans are pretty aware about a lot of issues, and so when they come into the show, they're not expecting to learn about, climate change or, stopping genetically modified food, but they're into it, and so a lot of people really get engaged with what's happening.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who don't know about these things. They get educated. So it's very exciting to see people that are coming for an entertaining show kind of get turned on to some stuff that they didn't know or they wanted to learn more about. So that's really exciting.
Yes.
The other thing that's really exciting is seeing these groups interact with each other because they're not just, a lot of times an organization only works on organic farming, let's say. Their own issue. Yeah. But they all connect. Organic farming, genetic modification, the environment, biodiversity of species, all these things are connected. And that's what Neil is really saying here, is that we all need to work together. All these issues affect all of us, whether it's the right to vote or the right to protest or speak your mind, or the right to have food or clean water. Those are human issues, human rights issues, but they're connected to environmental issues, and they're connected to food issues. So it's a pretty neat concept, and we're really grateful that he's doing it. He's supporting these groups that maybe they get a little bit of attention on the internet, maybe they get some attention in their own communities, but this is a way to kind of bring more attention to what they're doing. Yeah.
These all different groups are like coming together. Yeah. It's like fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Is Neil the father of the idea?
Well, Neil asked me. He said, "I want to help bring attention to these important issues," and so we brainstormed about it, and he and I kind of came up with this idea that we could bring all these organizations that do different things together in one voice. And Daryl Hannah is a very big part of this as well. She's a longtime activist. She's an actress from the United States. And she's a well-known actress, and she's very committed to this sort of thing, and she's very creative when it comes to designing this sort of thing. So really, Neil and Daryl and I were the kind of think tank, I guess you call it, that created the village.
Yes.
I'm the director of a UK organisation called Beyond GM.
Yes.
And we spent some time on the US tour in the Global Village, and so when Neil came to Europe, the organisation asked us to organise the GMO and the farming tents. So we've been organising the GMO tents and the farming tents throughout the European tour.
All right. What is the people, how have they taken these events and the information? Is there any differences in any different countries?
I think the most interesting thing about the village so far is that it's reaching people who are sympathetic to what we're trying to say, but who may never have thought of themselves as activists. They may not go on marches. They may not even go on websites that talk about the things that we're talking about. But instinctively and in themselves, they want a fairer world. They want better food. They want to see nature protected. And so what the village is giving them is an opportunity to show that, to take action, to give them options in a world where they may feel they don't have many options. The nicest interactions are the people who see the village and are slightly curious, and then they poke around and they pick up a leaflet, and then they go away, and then they come back and they want to know more. And so people are wary, obviously. They want to know if we're trying to push something or sell something. But there's so much interesting information at the village that the ones who come back, they want a real conversation. And I think very often campaigners don't get to have real conversations with real people. We talk to each other all the time, and we tweet, and we put things on Facebook, and we write very clever press releases, but actually talking to the public is not something that we get to do. And those long conversations are really fulfilling. And I think also the other interesting thing about the village has been the mix of ages that have come. I mean, Neil Young has music that's attractive to people across the ages. He's ageless in many ways.
Yes.
And so we have, oldies my age, but we also have young people coming, and they're interested in what we're saying, and they are the future. So that's very important.
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense to me.